Whiz Bam Wow. Welcome back. We are Whiz Bam Wow One. It's not even on the.
I'll
It's not
change
even
it
on
next
the. Do what? It's not even on the full. You can see when you put it up. It's like halfway in.
Whiz, just whiz.
Okay. So let's get on to it. We're doing our. If you watch the bit before, we were doing our Game of the Year video, which is basically just a tournament for all the games of 2021 that we have listed out, 32 of them, and we're going on to the second bracket. So
Yep.
let's get straight into it.
Ranked by Metacritic, remember?
Yeah.
Right, here our choice is ranked by Metacritic. This isn't Metacritic's
Yeah.
list. We didn't steal anything, we promise. Right, bracket 2. Here we go. So, first matchup, Psychonauts 2 versus Mario Golf. So I've completed Psychonauts 2.
Yeah, I've played a bit.
You've played a bit. Fan,
I've
did you complete it? Or did you just play a bit of it?
I chewed a pretzel at the wrong time.
That's not part of the game.
I played a good chunk of it. I'm going to say about 2 hours.
That's not a chunk. That's not a chunk. That's not a chunk at all.
I can say I played longer than 2 hours.
You just played longer than you won. 2 hours
Yeah.
is a small fraction of the game.
And by the way, I played that on my phone.
Yeah, using xCloud, right?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
by the way is a great thing.
Yeah,
It's
so,
so
good.
good.
And Cairns got a backbone for Christmas, which is like a phone controller.
Well,
It's really
that
cool.
sounds like you're just calling me a pussy.
Right, okay, I'll run us through Psychonauts 2 while the clips are on.
It's a great system.
So basically, Psychonauts 2 is like it's a bit like Kena in the way that it's like a PS2 game, but it's like a proper platformer. I played Psychonauts 1 before playing it, so I got like all the references and stuff. Really, really enjoyed this game, by the way. Like fucking incredible. It's beautiful. The game design's amazing. The combat's really fun. The variety and things you can do is awesome. The story as well, actually, surprisingly heartfelt. Once you get near the end of the story, really, really, like, actually hits a few really emotional notes. It's really just a bloody well designed, well crafted game. And it's like it's 20 years in the making. Like Psychonauts 1's 20 years old, and they finally made Psychonauts 2 after people clamoring for it, and this is the result they got. Again, the level design and everything's just so good. I didn't have any problems with glitches. I didn't have any problems with sound. Like literally, such a well polished, brilliantly designed game. I mean, like for Game Awards and stuff, it was probably robbed for Game of the Year and everything. Like from the critics and that. Like it's that bloody good. As you can see, I'm carrying a piece of toast up some knives there. So yeah, no, great game. Raz a good character. Really comes full circle with the rest of the story in Psychonauts 1, 2. That's just a little bit of photo mode, auto shots. This is actually testament to how much like is to show in this game that the clip's actually this long. To be perfectly honest, I couldn't cut anything out without showing enough of it. There's really cool powers as well in it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
There we go. So then the next game in it is Mario Golf, which is somewhere. There we go.
I'll do
Got it.
Mario Golf if you want.
There we go. Mario Golf. So yeah, on you go, Juan. On you go. Shoot.
Well,
Fire
Mario
away.
Golf takes off of where Mario Basketball leaves you off with.
Wow.
So I've had one beer.
Yeah, one beer.
So
That was a
basically,
terrible
what
transition.
happens in Mario Basketball is that Mario's wife is killed and murdered, and he has to go fight in Mario Golf.
We said no spoilers.
No spoilers.
sorry.
Juan.
Right, no, Mario Golf, sports game. Mario plays golf. Nothing else to say about it.
It's a good golf sim. I think it's probably the best golf sim since the.
It's the best Wii golf game since Wii golf.
Yeah.
I think it's the best golf game. Full stop. Since the Masters in 2012, the Tiger Woods Masters game on the PS3. Every other EA game I played has been pish. This actually gives a bit of variety. The motion controls on it are good. The button controls are phenomenal. There's got an adventure story mode where you actually go through and work up the ranks, which I've heard is a bit limited. I didn't get very far through the adventure mode, admittedly. But the actual gameplay of it and the super moves and stuff and the environments I thought were fun. Really good fun, to be honest.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a really good time with it.
Thanks, Cairns.
That's all I had to say, really.
So did you guys have any pros or cons for either game in your notes?
So,
So
Juan,
go,
go on,
Cairns.
Juan.
No, you let me go for this last time.
I was gonna say Mario Golf. Psychonauts. I said it was a good story, simple, easy to follow. It's good fun. It does give me a bit of a Ratchet and Clank
Yeah, well,
vibe,
it was
but
same time the
but
original came out.
but on the downside, it is a bit of a Wish.com of Ratchet and Clank.
Wow.
Wow.
In my
No,
opinion, I very much enjoy. Like, it's just not as good as Ratchet and
do you
Clank.
mean Rift Apart specifically?
No,
You mean in general?
yeah,
Oh, see, I don't know about that.
it does seem like, but it's like
Well,
it's like it's like that, but it's just not quite that same level. And Mario Golf, I said it's good gameplay. It's a good choice. It's got a good choice of courses and game modes. The controls are well balanced. You can do it either motion or just controller based. So I enjoyed that. But it is like it's good, but it's not that accurate.
oh,
For
Mario Golf,
what
you
I'm
mean?
trying. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
fair.
more of a party game rather than an actual golf game.
Yeah. So
It's Mario game.
Juan, notes on Psychonauts?
So my notes on Psychonauts, again, really enjoyed it. My notes start off with what a fun little game. I highly recommend it as a hangover game. You know, you come up, just want something nice and light to play.
Not 12 minutes.
No, not 12 minutes.
Oh, I thought you said four. I thought you said for 12 minutes, Cairns. That's how
No.
much. That's how much Juan played.
It reminds me of like a game you would get up on a Saturday morning when you were a kid and play. There's that kind of feel to it. It captures 2006 Xbox 360 perfectly. Perfectly captures that period of games. Classic platformer with the entertain you with great humor, but I also do like how it approaches mental health issues in a certain way. It kind of brings it into a forefront and kind of gets you thinking just by playing a game, which is again fantastic. My only bugbear with that game, and it's the tiniest little thing, the camera doesn't control how I like it to. It's not perfect. The camera's not perfect. That's my only
I thought you
gripe.
were going to say that you couldn't keep playing it for any longer.
So I the notes I had was great platforming, fun art style. On top of the fun art style, see, you guys obviously didn't get far enough to experience this, but see in certain mines when you go in, the art style completely changes. Like there's one mine you go into and it's like a neon jungle and it's just a bit mental and it's just so pretty. Aside from that, really well polished game. Like I said, I didn't encounter any bugs or anything. Really funny dialogue at times, like hilarious.
Simple.
The mini
It's like
games.
simple humor.
Oh, once you get later on, it's actually like it's quick wit as well. It's like honestly, there's bits in there that are just like that's funny. Mini games are good. Boss battles well varied and fun. The story, great twists again, and the collectathon aspect of it. So going out and collecting all the stuff. Really, you want it. It's like one of these things you do, and you're like, but if I earn enough, I can then get that, and you want to keep going and doing it. And I couldn't rate that highly enough with that. With Mario Golf. Have you said what your piece is on Mario Golf yet, Juan?
Oh, no, I didn't actually. Mario Golf, I really enjoy Mario Golf. It's a quality Mario sports game. Mario football, Mario basketball. It's just a quality Mario sports game. My favorite thing about that game though is like the race mode. So when you
speed golf.
Speed golf.
Yeah.
Speed golf was great. We played it when I was up at yours. Fantastic game to play. Just like, especially in a party situation, like it got us really excited. And me, obviously, you know, got a bit too excited at times. But I don't.
Juan really likes golf.
Just fun game.
So I said for Mario Golf, it's the best golf game I've played in a long time. Button controls are good, motion controls are okay. The biggest problem I had with it is my favourite Mario character is Toad, just because I think he's hilarious. Just looking at him, he's a little Toad man, is hysterical, always has been, always pick him in Mario Kart. So I'd play as him in Mario Golf and see using the motion controls with Toad. I'm 6 foot, right? And Toad is about 3 foot tall. So you actually have to hold it out like a baseball bat, as if you're like actually Toad rather than an actual golf swing. Which you can understand why, but it can get a bit clunky at times, and the power's hard to control. The green reading also is a bit weird. How it doesn't really explain it well enough. I don't think of the tutorial how the colours work, and like you can tell the lines are across, but I think red's uphill and blue's
Well, the
downhill.
pacing is.
Golf Adventure's fun, and it's got a good variety of game modes like the speed golf, battle golf, and stuff. I gave Mario Golf a 7.5, and I gave Psychonauts a 9.
So I gave Psychonauts, and the only reason it didn't get a 10 is because of the camera, a 9.5.
Oh wow! And you got that from 2 hours of it.
And I gave Mario Golf an 8 just because, quality Mario sports game.
Yeah, fair enough.
I gave Mario Golf a 7.5, and I gave Psychonauts an 8.5.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. So, I mean, my vote for this one, if you give me a second just to get the table up, is going to Psychonauts. I think it's just a better game, to be honest. Mario, like you say, Mario sports game, good at what it is, but Psychonauts is a special game. Like you said about the mental health stuff as well, Han. Like, special game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed?
No, agreed.
Right,
Absolutely.
fair enough. So, the next up...
I don't think we have to spend a lot of time on this next one.
Well, I don't know, Cairns, because Juan really doesn't like Pokemon Snap.
Oh.
Do I not? Wait a minute, do I not?
No, Juan did not play Pokemon Snap. But we have his favourite game up next, which is Knockout City. But, however, I had a 10 kill game in this. 10 kills and no deaths, by the way, when I was filming for this, and I had to get it in here.
Weird flex, but okay.
So, Knockout City is literally a dodgeball game. It's a dodgeball game, but you have a glider, essentially, and you can flip and stuff. Good fun party game, in my opinion. Can run around. It gets to the point where if you come up as someone who's good at the game and knows how to work as a team, you're in trouble. But aside from that, I think it's a pretty solid little game. Good different game modes. I think there could be more maps probably, but I mean, considering it was an EA original, which is like the low budget games for EA, like kind of okay with that.
And they were looking to expand it as it went on, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, they're doing seasons and everything. They're turning it into like a kind of dodgeball of Fortnite. I think we had a couple of connection issues in the first week, Cares, but that might just have been our Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Look. Oh wait, no, first to 10. That was my winning. I played so well that game, and I hadn't played it in about 6 months. So the next game up, Cares, do you want to give a rundown of Pokemon Snap?
Okay, yeah. So,
Yes, please.
all I would say, is basically everyone knows Pokemon.
What's Pokemon?
It's a bunch of animals, pretty much, and you're taking photos of them, and you get points for each photo you take.
And the better the photo,
whether they're moving, better photos. Basically, it's a whole. It's not even exploration. It's more. It's photographer simulator, pretty much, for Pokemon.
Photographer simulator, not photographer.
Yeah. No photographer. But what I would say, that's a great photo you got there.
Oh yeah. Here, this is a platinum. Look at it. Oh no, I got bronze. I thought it gave me platinum for that. And I was like, what the hell?
No, all I would say is it is good fun to begin with, but it's quite limited to what it is.
Quite repetitive as well.
Yeah, you just
make up an N64 game as well.
And it is great for.
It's a remake, yeah. Or it's not a remake. It's a new version of it. But yeah, sorry.
It is great for like Pokemon. Like if you're a big fan of Pokemon, it's one of those things that you're like, yeah, I really want to do this so I can see all these different kind of Pokemon. And it's really interesting seeing them all. But all it is taking photos of them. It doesn't explain their any detail into the actual Pokemon.
I don't know how much you played of it, Cairns, but I played, I think, to the point where it unlocked 4 or 5 regions or something. And see, to be honest, it's really, really easy and annoying when you're able to get so close to unlocking a region after one run, but then you have to do the same run again just so you can get 10 points. And it is just that minor pain in the arse that I don't like.
Yeah, it's just a bit repetitive doing it.
So my notes on Knockout City were a fun multiplayer game, different to anything out. I said at the time, but different to anything out, full stop, to be honest. Teamwork's big benefits, which is a pro and a con. It's a fun time. Character customization's pretty cool. Not many maps though, and for the best experience, you do need to play with a squad. Like you need a team of 3.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I said it was fun, simple idea that works really well. Not many maps.
Yeah, fair.
Yep.
Fair.
I said it's a great little game. Again, when you want some lighthearted game to play. Could use some integration with some third-party characters you could unlock, like how Fortnite has with the kind of party ones.
Some new ones, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gameplay's solid. Not much you could really improve on with that. There's nothing you can really do with it. My only real criticism with this game is the maps aren't really that well balanced. Some are really good, some of them are terrible.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Pokemon Snap, I gave that. We can do scores first if you want. I don't mind.
No, that's fine. Go into.
So Pokemon Snap. So I played it initially on the 4K
Switch.
4K OLED, right? No, not OLED, 4K TV, just LED TV minus the O. And like Switch games are notorious for looking really crappy on big TVs. This looked amazing, to be fair. Like the best thing I can say about it is actually it was a really, really pretty game on a big TV, even from the Switch. The ambience that it creates is good. It's really chilled out. I was actually I was surprised how much I enjoyed just being like, oh, this is quite good. It's nice and chilled out. Can do whatever. Again, like I said, the early repetition of levels can get pretty tedious. I've actually written that, which was me being, I'll be nice to the game, and then after I've written frustrating repeating levels. So there you go. Overall, fun, chilled game. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I gave Pokemon Snap a 7 out of 10, and I said it's very basic, easygoing, very relaxing, amazing graphics. That was what I gave it.
Yeah, for the art style as well. Lovely.
I think it was really good. I think, to be honest, I would really enjoy it, not as a photographer game, but as being hungover and just watching it.
That's basically what I did it the first time I did it, and I was like, "This is nice." I think
that'd be great, just sitting there hungover, and it's just looking at different things. You're like, "Wow, whoa, what was that?" And it's just like a tourist, just sitting in a safari.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah. I think that'd be really nice. And I gave Knockout City a 7 as well.
I gave Knockout City a 7 as well.
I gave Knockout City an 8. So 7.5 did I say, or did I say 7 for Pokemon Snap? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Can't remember. I've got a glossary. I can tell you.
Christ.
7 out of 10 for Pokemon. So my vote for this personally is Knockout City. I think it's just the more solid game. It's more original. It's a game. It is it's a different thing to a pretty saturated genre.
Yeah, I think it's got more variety as well.
Yeah.
We all agreed on that there. I'm not just choosing it myself, I promise. Right, so next up, I think I was the only one to really play this one. So it's Resident Evil Village. So I'll give you a quick rundown of that. And then, Cairns, you want to give a rundown of Raiders Republic after?
Yeah, sure.
Right, cool. So Resident Evil Village, if you want to watch the clip of this, I thought the clip was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that. Oh.
So Village, it picks up the story of Ethan Winters after Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which, by the way, if you haven't played it, incredible game. Biohazard's just such a fun game. If you haven't played
it, watch my stream.
It's it's actually the game that got me into Resident Evil. Before the stream, I was kind of not fussed about it. Then I played 7, completed it, and I was like, "This is amazing."
It's because you were pissed.
Oh, it was such a good. No. When I played it after, I was like, "This is an amazing game." But anyway, so picks up. You're Ethan Winters. You essentially get stranded in this Eastern European ancient village, and you're fighting all sorts vampires, werewolves, big swamp monsters, and you're trying to save your daughter, who's been taken for some reason. I can't remember why. Well, I can, but I'm not going to say. But story's good, gameplay really, really good, survival mechanic. It feels like the only game in recent times that's branded as survival horror and feels like
an action,
a survival action. Resident Evil 7 was more of a survival horror. This was much more action packed than the others, to be honest. which is a good and a bad thing. Like I preferred the kind of stressfulness, if you like, of 7. But yeah, good gameplay mechanics. Gunplay is really fun. Pretty intense situations. It feels like, do you know what it feels like, Juan? It feels like a Resident Evil that's trying to be Halo Infinite. I know it came out
What's it?
before. It feels like the gameplay feels like Resident Evil trying to be Halo Infinite.
Cut out again.
Did I?
Yeah,
Oh, can you hear me now?
No, no,
Hello.
no, yeah, we can hear you now. It just cut
yeah.
out for a second.
Oh, sorry. So third time lucky. It feels like a Resident Evil game that is trying to be Halo Infinite gameplay wise.
Okay.
Oh, you cut it again.
Shut up.
No, yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah.
like you know how like when you're taking over a fob in Halo, and it can get like not a fob, like one of the actual bases, not the field, the fobs, and it can get pretty hectic and pretty stressful. Village
Yeah.
can be like that at times as well, which is not like I'd prefer survival horror out of it, to be honest, because that's what like Resident Evil thrives on.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, it's still a good game. The story is very good. I'm not going to say what's good about it because it'll give away spoilers, but really,
Big
really
tits
good
for
game.
all women.
I would recommend it. Like the boss fights as well, sublime, great boss fights.
Big titties for all women.
Also absolutely gorgeous as well. Sorry, I'm done. Right, Cairns, over to you for Riders
I
Republic.
thought he was talking about the big titty tall woman.
Right, Cairns, over to you.
So, Raiders Republic, I don't know if any of you played Steep, but it's pretty much that, but with biking. So it's pretty much, it's great for people who are doing, yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's basically a simulator for you doing any outdoors sort of activities, kind of. So you've got a mix between mountain biking, like road cycling, skiing, snowboarding,
The rocket
jet
shack,
gliders, yeah, rocket jacket. It's good fun. It is really good. It's good. It's good multiplayer. It's great playing with other people because you can race and do tricks and all this different stuff. It has this massive race thing. My only gripe would be that it's pretty limited to just that, and also because it is the same people who did Steep, all it really seems like is that they've added in that you can mountain bike in a new place. The story, I don't feel like it's got a strong storyline.
It's not really
or
a story,
anything.
is it? It's just here, go level up.
Yeah. So, and it's quite tough if you don't know what you're doing. Then I feel like it's quite tough to find the right races, right things to do.
Yeah.
So, but
the,
it is a very pretty game.
So going back to Resi 8, the notes I had on it were gunplay fun, difficulty on standard. This was a problem I had with it. The difficulty in standard feels a bit too easy, as if like, oh, I'm like a super like Master Chief running through a horde, right?
Yeah.
But the moment you go to hardcore, it's brutal. But it's not like survival horror brutal. It's like it's like legendary mode on Halo. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like you're just getting killed and there's nothing you can do about it. But you're not like there's no way that you can change your game style to fit around that. Do you know what I mean? The first 2/3 of the game very good, and dropped off a little bit in the story at the end. Boss fights great. Castle Dimitrescu, which is the bit with the big vampire lady,
Big tit women.
best part of the game. Like amazing, so good. The level design, there actually feels more like survival horror elements in that part of the game than the entire rest of the game. Really good. By the end of it, I wanted more. Could have done a bit more like Resident Evil feel to it, and not a powered up shooter. The one other thing I would say, the puzzles still very good, and I should say the two other things I should say. Sorry, the upgrade system to your guns and everything, really fun and intriguing actually. So Riders Republic cares because do you have any notes on Resident Evil? No.
Resident Evil, the only thing I would say from what I've heard from you is that I very much enjoy the whole idea of Resident Evil games being that you're sat there and you're pretty much powerless.
Yeah.
Like, I like feeling like I'm against odds here. Like, whenever we played Resident Evil 2 or 3, We're sat there, and it's like you've got zombies coming. You have to conserve ammo. You have to make sure if you can kill them with a knife, kill them with a knife. You know, you're trying to survive anything possible. And every time you come up against a big boss, they're like impossible to kill, and it's like like really difficult. So, and it's also all about the jump scares. Or you're getting chased. You're like, I can't fight you, so I have to run, and it's a panic situation. So, that's all I'd say about Resident Evil. Riders Republic. What did I say? I said the controls are a bit convoluted for a basic game.
Yeah.
Like it's they could have simpled it down a bit. They give you options for different ones, but it's like if you're doing one thing, you can't control the camera. If you're doing another, it's
not as good feeling
as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a bit convoluted for something, and it's like Forza 5 is to Forza 4. It's the same kind of vibe from Steep to that. So only difference is a bike.
Yeah. What I said about Raiders Republic is, what did you score it? Sorry, Cairns.
For Raiders Republic,
Yeah.
I scored a 7.
Cool. So I said fun selection of things to do. Big open world, you can't expect that with a Ubisoft game now. But this really suits that, to be fair, this game. I think it really, really suits having that massive open world. I said it can feel a bit purposeless and boring when you're playing it by yourself. Because the story you just couldn't give less of a shit about, if I'm being honest. It's just it's some guy who's an ex legend on the mountain giving you directions to go and do events. Like, it's just not really compelling. I think the snow sports feel 100 times better than the biking, and that's because, like you say, Cairns, they built off Steep and they've added some of the other stuff, but the snow sports feel amazing. Like, especially skiing feels like as much as you can do with a controller feels like you're skiing, if that makes sense.
It's almost like SSX.
Yeah, exactly. You can feel the weight of the snow and everything. Whereas the biking feels a little bit not slidey. It feels
like
good.
You're just firing down as fast as you can, and you have to brake at points.
Yeah, totally. I think also I would say that the place that the game shines the most is the mass races. So basically, usually races are like up to 8 people, but I don't actually know how to matchmake with just randoms, to be honest.
That's what I was saying. It's like it's tough to do stuff when you don't really know what's going on.
The mass race is 64 people doing a section of 3 different sports races, and it is a hell of a lot of fun. Like, it really is. So I gave it a 7.5 for my score. So votes wise, I would give my vote, Cairns, to Resident Evil. To be honest, I think it's.
I think for a game, I think that would have a better story, be more compelling. So
it's got more to it. Go more to it. Do you know what I mean? And
it's more and it's different than.
Resident Evil 7. Yeah, you can at least say that they've changed some things up with it. So I would vote Resident Evil.
I would have gone with that as well.
What would you have gone with off of our descriptions anyway, Juan?
Purely for the big titty woman, Resident Evil Village.
Fair enough. All right, cool. So we're making a bit.
You heard it here first. Juan loves big titty women. Why? Why is that happening?
Why do that?
Oh no, because when they did the reveal of it, and I think it's in the wrong square.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. That's why we were saying why.
Just put Resident Evil 8. Right, cool. Right, so next up is Deathloop. Cairns, do you mind if I do the description of Deathloop?
Yeah, go for it.
And Juan, you okay to do the description of Outriders? Because we'll just do what we did with 12 minutes and Forgotten City with you. Just get the bad out of the way first, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about Outriders.
So for Deathloop, I think it is. Oh, by the way, watch one of my transitions here. Keep an eye on this video; it's gorgeous. But Deathloop is one of the most well constructed games. It's yet another time loop game. I think it's the 3rd time loop game we've had here. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So far. So time loop game where basically you're trying to figure out why you're in this loop and you're trying to stop the loop. It's slightly different to the others where if you die, everything doesn't reset back to normal. Like you can lose like the currency in the game and you can lose your guns, but the story is still the same because you're repeating the same day over and over and over, and everything happens the same. And the best thing about that, to be perfectly honest, is the way that they can use that in level design and game design. the game design in this is second to none. I don't think I've ever seen a game with better level design and more intricate level design than this. Because I would say up until probably you figure out half of the story, it's a bit like, oh, what's going on here? I don't really get it. And then a moment happens and it clicks, and you do something incredible and get to make a kill or something, and it's awesome, right? So that would be what I say. It's a time loop game, good shooting, very Dishonored-esque, and very good game. I enjoyed it. I'll give more notes on it after we've gone through Outriders with Juan.
Okay, Outriders. Let's wait for it to come up and then I'll kick off.
It's rolling clips rolling.
So, Outriders, welcome to this pile of poo of the game. Outriders is a third-person shooter that is basically Gears of War, but terrible with superpowers. Story is overly convoluted. Basically just a really bad third-person shooter. All I can really say about this game is I fucking despise it. It's like a mix of third-person and also... what is it called?
First person?
No, oh my god, what's it called?
Emerald?
Ha!
Oh, it's like Skyrim, not like Skyrim.
Fallout.
Warcraft, World of Warcraft, what are they called?
RPGs. An MMO.
RPG, that's the
Or
one.
do you mean an
It's a
MMO?
third-person RPG, thank you. But yeah, no, can I just kick off and just tell everything that I despise about Outriders?
Yeah,
Right, so we're doing Outriders first then.
Outriders is a bog standard third-person shooter that doesn't work. The real issue I have with Outriders is it's nothing we've not seen before, but they've somehow made it worse. I'm also reading off a notes, by the way. Apart from the superpowers, they bring nothing to the table, but because of the gameplay, the superpowers get really old really fast. Everything's repetitive. You go from like zone to zone, just doing the exact same thing. Everything looks the same as well. Really boring. Nothing gets fast. Nothing gets challenging. It's just a really boring game. Story-wise, I think it's atrocious. The first 15 minutes of the game, you're just sitting watching a video. I just think it loses your interest almost immediately. You open the game, go, oh, this looks alright. Then you're like, nah, fuck this. I hate this. It's awful. Words cannot describe how much I despise this game.
Was it how many single? Was it single figure digits for the minutes you played of it?
I played as many minutes as we played together. And
Yeah, I know. We played I think we played 2 hours or something around that hour or two. Cairns, you mind if I go next? Is that okay?
Okay, go for it.
So my notes are limited in Outriders because I didn't have many good things to say. So if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say much. I'm gonna break that. Gonna break that rule in a minute. So I said the shooting feels okay. Felt a bit static while playing. The power options get boring fast, and couldn't see the powers of others properly in multiplayer. So people wouldn't explode. But aside from that, I actually thought I kind of echo your sentiment, Juan. It is such a bog standard third person Gears of War wannabe. With superpowers, like you're bang on with that. It like the powers, they're so hard to earn as well. Like I felt like it just at no point did that game grab me. Then the checkpoints weren't good. The level design was really linear. The weird cutscenes.
Yes.
Like there's one point where you jump from one side of a bridge to another. You get to the bridge. You press X to do it. It cuts to black. Cuts to you jumping over. Cuts to black, and then you're walking again. Really odd. Like really
the
odd.
cutscene for going through doors as well.
Oh god.
The door in the cutscene.
And regardless, the story wasn't gripping to me. It was a cool idea, and I don't think it hit nearly as well with me or Juan as it did with others. Thoughts, Cairns?
I have 3 words, 2 different comments for my notes. They were, and I must have made them back because I only played the demo.
Yeah.
Outriders, and it is glitches and basic controls.
Right, yeah, but
That's
fair.
all.
Sums up.
That's all
Well,
I had.
I gave it a 6.
Scores.
I gave it a 6 out of 10. Juan, what did you give it?
I gave it a 6.
I I give it a 1 out of
A
10.
1.
I despised it that much. I genuinely considered cancelling my Xbox live
Pass.
subscription. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with this.
See, in fairness, 6 is one of my lowest scores.
That wasn't my lowest.
Yeah, 6 is one of my lowest. 'Cause I don't think any of the games on this list deserve to be under 5, to be honest.
Yeah.
My my notes on Deathloop was gunplay was fantastic. The way that all the leads, so basically you're basically investigating all these different leads, and you have to figure out how to kill all these visionaries in one day, right? And see when that finally clicks, and you kill 3 in one go with the snap of a finger, basically. Boy, does it click! It feels so good, and you're like, oh, like, it's at that point where, like, see, up to then you're like, this is fun, and at that point you go, oh shit, I get it. Like this is cool. I said it wasn't immediately gripping. I did get into it eventually. It's fun playing the multiplayer bit with a friend. So basically, someone can invade your game and kill you while you're trying to do a loop.
That's cool.
And it's really fun. It's a total nightmare if you have it turned on for non-friends, because it's these guys. It's a bit like the people who are like MLGs and Halo and everything, and they just come in and they just wreck you. They're just quicker. They're playing on PC and just absolutely wreck you.
It's not even MLG. It's that they've got better weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
Already.
They've played the game more than you. Like, I turned it off very early in the game because these guys came in and they clearly had completed the game, been doing this for a while, and I'm a noob, right? And I'm sitting there going, oh, right, well, I'm not very good at this. What do I do? Fuck this. I'm just putting it offline. And then Cairns wanted to play it, so I put it on to friends, which was actually more fun playing against you.
That was more fun because it was like it's an even level.
Yeah, even playing field. So then one of the gripes I had was that the actual story, the ending was really underwhelming. Like, really underwhelming. I got 2 of the endings because the first one I got was so underwhelming. The second one was no better. It was just like that's where it kind of fell short for me, was in the story department. But the design of the game is just phenomenal. Honestly, best game I've ever played design wise, I think.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Oh no, not art design, Cairns. I mean level design. The way that everything clicks together. Oh yeah,
mechanics.
Unbelievable. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I said my notes were, it's an interesting concept. Like, the idea of the game is so interesting. It's so smart, especially with the fact that you can have someone come into your game and they're going against you while you're trying to do this, and it's, like that whole idea. I said it's very fun to play. It's very loose and chaotic, but in like a good way. Because it is like that Dishonored, and that's exactly how. Because don't have said to you, Juan, Dishonored 2, I played that game as I didn't want to fight anyone. I just wanted to get through it. So there's a whole teleporting thing that you can do in Dishonored, and I just zoomed through, and I didn't kill a single person. I was just zooming through. I got caught a lot, but I just kept running and dodging and running and dodging. But you can play it that way, the same exact way in Deathloop. And it's good fun. So,
what'd you give it, Kev, score-wise?
I gave it an 8.
An 8, cool. So, going on to the vote then. Outriders or Deathloop, Cairns? I'm going Deathloop.
Deathloop.
I think Juan would go Deathloop as well, even though he hasn't played
Just because he hates Outriders.
I hate Outriders so much. I've not played Deathloop, but I just... No.
I've typed that weird, but you know what? We're just going to live with it. Right, so next one. Psychonauts 2 versus Knockout City. Psychonauts, pretty easy decision here.
Psychonauts, yeah.
I would have gone with Knockout City. I really.
Oh, would you? Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Really?
I think the story and the game design and everything about Psychonauts just kind of puts it above, whereas Knockout City hasn't reached its
peak.
It hasn't reached its maturing point yet.
On the charming scale as well, I think Psychonauts is more charming than Knockout City. Both very charming games, but
yeah. Well, you've been outvoted anyway, Kieran. So Psychonauts.
Yeah,
is going in.
I'm happy with that choice. I'm just saying that would have been my choice.
Then the next one is Resident Evil 8 versus Deathloop. I know what I'm voting
for a game, like for the way, it's like game design, like as the game it's trying to be. I would vote Deathloop.
I'm voting Deathloop. I think it's just like Resident Evil I like Cairns, I
For
love
me-
Resident Evil series, but
Yeah, but Resident Evil should be a horror survival. That's what
100%.
it should be going for, and it doesn't quite get the horror, like the survivor part of it.
yeah, it's
because
too
more of
actiony.
a-
Too actiony. You have too much
Yeah.
stuff, and there's
I
no
would,
in between.
I would go with Deathloop as well. Purely, my reason for it is because
Big titty women.
no, it was a continuation of a series, and Deathloop's a standalone
Yeah.
brand new game. That's my pure attack reasoning. Really sorry, Big Titty Women, but I have to die.
So that leads us to
Psychonauts versus Deathloop.
Psychonauts versus Deathloop. This is a tough
There we
one.
go.
This is a really
Yeah.
tough one. Psychonauts, better story, wonderful game design, really good powers, different. It's 20 years in the making. People want it back, especially the last few levels of Psychonauts 2. Amazing, especially when compared to Psychonauts 1. Deathloop, the game design is just impeccable. I think I've talked
I
myself
would
into
go-
Psychonauts.
I would go for Deathloop.
Oh no.
I talked myself into that there, Juan. Sorry.
My main reason is that you said Psychonauts is 20 years in the making, and yeah, they've done well with it. But I think they could have done so much. Like, I think they could have done better.
I don't think they could have.
For 20 years on a game.
But then, Cairns, even saying that, no, when I say 20 years in the making, people have been asking for it for 20 years.
Yeah, but I didn't feel like there was enough.
And with
twists and
Deathloop,
turns in the-
it's based off of Arcane's Dishonored series, and they've basically taken that and gone, we're just going to create an original story with a different vibe to it and do our level
But
design.
you've got so much like creativity and so many options in Deathloop, like how you can go about
do,
doing stuff.
And that's the way it
That's-
shines, totally.
That's why I think.
Juan's
But
vote.
what I'm going to go for, purely because I have played it and I do really enjoy it.
Fair.
Psychonauts.
Fair enough. So there we go. Sorry, Arcane Studios.
Fight.
Yeah, well, I don't even like you anyway.
Oh, no. Oh, shit. Fuck it. Merge. There we go. So Psychonauts has gone through then, yeah?
Yeah, so that is the end of the second bracket.